All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here. This is going to be something brand new that we're giving a try tonight with the Theology Nerds Live, and we've got all kinds of stuff planned, and we're going to be kicking it off here shortly. We want to thank you all for being here, and if you've listened to an episode or two or all of them, we're really thankful for that too. What are you doing?
Just stay there.
Okay. One thing that you'll find out one of these days is that he gets this little twinkle in his eye and this little side smirk, and it never ends well. And, oh boy. So we just want to thank everybody for being here. Why are you smiling like that?
You'll find out.
Okay.
You'll find out.
All right. So I guess we're going to start off with hijinks and all that. We do have some opportunities for you guys to answer some trivia questions. So you're going to have to, we're going to do, why are you getting a trash can? What is happening? Oh, you lost your little thing there.
Thanks, Dad.
And we're also going to be making some big announcements. So what do you say we start with a couple trivia questions? Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
All right. So
This is Theology Nerds Trivia.
Theology Nerds Trivia. So this is, you're not going to get this. Well, you might get this if you know us really well. But this is about stuff we've said on the podcast. So let's start with the first question on the list here. And you're going to have to help me see who gets their hand up first. Okay? And we'll do the best we can there. So don't raise your hand until I'm done with the question. Because I know that happened to us. Yeah, I know. Don't be like Tanner. All right, so the first question is this. The first time the nerds spoke of their spiritual heroes, who did they highlight? Anybody remember? Okay, you want to give it a shot, Josh? Okay, that was mine. Any idea who his was?
Yep.
That's it. Boom. All right. Josh. All right. Josh, you get a Starbucks cup. Yeah. All right. All right, let's try another one. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one. All right, in the very first What's on Your Shelf segment, what item did Brian speak of? I think.
Oh, Kelly doesn't count, does she?
Yeah, no, you can't answer Kelly, so it's either Keith or Jacob. Who we going with? He got you up? All right, what is it? Okay, do you know? Okay, close.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
He gets it.
Yeah, that's the mysterious lost knife that's been a year out in the snow and the weather and all that stuff. All right. How about?
Can I give you your present?
Yeah, you can. How about a cup for you too? All right. So you've got something for me.
So one of the things that Brian and I, we find ourselves competitive.
Very.
And Brian doesn't like deviled eggs.
Please.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not what it is tonight.
Please, no.
This is.
Oh, I will throw up.
So we made a bet, and it was way back in February or March. We made a bet about a basketball game, Duke versus Louisville.
ACC tournament.
And you said Louisville was going to win. I said Duke was going to win. And, of course, I won that bet.
You did.
Right, running away. And so I promised you a shirt.
Oh,
and I just wanted you to have something to wear throughout. I wanted you to have something to wear tonight.
Oh.
So you need to wear that tonight.
Oh, what if it doesn't fit?
It'll fit.
I don't know.
If it's too tight.
If it fits, I'll wear it tomorrow.
I feel like this is cheating. You need to squeeze it on.
We're doing basketball tomorrow, so I won't humiliate myself too much. Let me see, because this number here is not big enough, unfortunately.
It is big enough.
Well, we're headed in the right direction, but
squeeze it on.
Right now? No, I'll do it tomorrow. I promise.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Kelly will wear it.
Right? Wait, I'll eat a deviled egg. Here, just take that.
You would rather eat a deviled egg?
Oh, it'd be awful. All right, so we're going to kick off the night tonight. Tell you what, do we want to do an announcement right now, or do we want to do a big announcement?
Yeah.
Or we want to wait for a little bit?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do the three truths and I'll
Okay, so we got this thing, 3 truths and a lie. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're gonna give you 4 things, 3 lies and 1 truth.
Right, 3 lies, 1
3 lies and 1 truth. So you got to figure out which one's true. All right, here's the first one. Should I go with the first one?
And then at the end, read them, and then at the end, have everyone raise their vote.
Who thinks what's what? Okay.
All right.
The first one of these that's either a lie or the truth is that Eric and Sierra are expecting their 3rd child. You be quiet. Brian has been invited to be an adjunct professor at Oxford University in England.
Congrats.
They don't even believe in it. Jason and Brian are leading a trip to Egypt and Israel in 2027. Or the nerds are writing a new series of books called the Theology Nerds Podcast Study Guides. All right, so who thinks Eric and Sierra are expecting their 3rd child? Who thinks, apparently some of you don't think there's any way that I would get invited to Oxford, so. Brian's been invited to, who thinks Oxford University? Anybody voting for that one?
Wow.
Mike? Thumbs down. Jason and Brian are leading a trip to Egypt and Israel in 2027. Would be leading? Leading it, you don't believe that one either?
All right.
All right. The nerds are writing a new series of books called the Theology Nerds Podcast Study Guides.
Look at that. They're smart.
Yeah. Which one is it? Which one is it?
It's the 4th one.
Yeah.
We are. This is early stages, but what we've done and what we found is that a lot of places people need help in writing material for Sunday school and for Bible classes. And anytime I've traveled, and if you've ever been and visited another church, sometimes you go like Sunday school and sometimes people struggle.
Yeah.
And they're not equipped or they don't have time to prepare. And we want to help that. And we also want to give a way for people to dig deeper into some of the subjects, which we really only scratch the surface on. And Brian's the brains and I'm the brawn. So we wanted to do that. And so that's in the process now.
Yeah, so we're thinking we've got 48 episodes. The math works out like 12 times 4.
Yeah.
So that would be 4 quarterly kind of things. So that's what we're thinking about doing. So I guess that's our announcements and trivia for now.
That's the first announcement. There's some good ones.
Oh, yeah, there's some more coming. Actually,
good
probably
stuff
really, really good ones coming. All right, so now we want to introduce to you Eric Clemens, who is not expecting. and C.J. Epperson.
That was true, and you just blew it.
Yeah, who is expecting. Yeah, they're 3rd. And C.J. comes to us from Cynthiana, Kentucky, Central Christian. I wasn't sure if it was Christian or Church of Christ, but Central Christian, doing a bang-up job down there. They just had a revival. How many baptisms do you all have at your revival? In and around your revival? You had 10 baptisms. So they're just rocking down there doing some great work. And you all know Eric, the work he does here at Kent. He just does a great job. We're super thankful for him. So they have a podcast called Beneath the Surface. And what they decided to do is that they wanted to create a podcast where they could interview individuals and kind of find out what makes them tick, how'd they get to where they were, and all that kind of stuff. And it's been a great blessing. Oh, here comes Sierra. Hey.
Yay!
Yay! Well, hey, your name? Oh yeah. We should have waited for her.
Sierra, we broke the news to everyone.
Yeah, congratulations. So anyway, back to their podcast. It gives people an opportunity to know about the individuals and the ministries and the things that they're doing and how they got where they are. Because what I found out is that for everybody, it's a little bit of a twisty-turny road, and that God's with them all the way through those kind of things. And so what we want to do now is just sit down with them and kind of dive into how we got to Theology Nerds Live and this weekend and the podcast and our friendship and relationship and all that. So would you guys welcome Beneath the Surface to the stage, and we're going to join them up there, and we're going to get started with that.
Stop.
One of the things that we want to do is that we kind of want to let you all behind the scenes of a little bit of some of the nuts and bolts of what it takes to do one of these. And one of the people have asked me about what we do when we record, and we get on how many of you have used Zoom before? I think a lot of us now have used Zoom.
How many of you have not used Zoom since COVID?
Yeah.
Who hasn't used it since
Yeah. So it's been a blessing to us to be able to use that. If I can get this program to open. So it looks like it's going to be a little stubborn. So guys, why don't you talk about, while I'm getting this open, about how Beneath the Surface got going, and we'll go from there once I get this cooperated.
So when it comes to Beneath the Surface as a podcast, the whole idea about it is to interview different people in ministry roles. It doesn't have to be preachers or evangelists or elders, just anyone who is serving Christ and getting to know the person behind the ministry. So the whole purpose behind it is to do an interview style conversation, have open dialogue, and really give the audience an opportunity to get to know the person who they sometimes see at like conferences or the heroes behind the scenes that they may not even know anything about. So that was the desire that we had, right? You want to share anything about it?
Yeah, and even further than that, I always say this when I'm here. This is a great church at Kent Christian, and we wanted to highlight people also that people wouldn't know from the conferences. Elders who make things happen, deacons who make things happen, camp directors who make things happen in the kingdom. It was our desire that people would know, hey, if you're an electrician, you can serve the kingdom in a great way. If you're a plumber, you can serve the Lord in a great way. So we wanted to go beneath the surface in such a way also to highlight people within the brotherhood, within our movement, who don't get the limelight. They don't get the spotlight. I mean, everybody loves Aaron Davis, right? Y'all know who Aaron Davis is. Everybody loves Jim Book, and those folks always get the spotlight. But we also wanted to take time to know people behind the scenes who live ordinary, everyday lives, but serve the Lord in extraordinary ways. So kind of our heart was that we could impact lives in that way. We could impact the kingdom in a great way through this podcast.
Yeah, so that was really the heart and the desire behind it. And so far, we are 12 episodes in. Yesterday we just posted an episode, and this interview you guys will be able to find on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify coming this Thursday. So we're going to live stream it from Facebook on Kent Christian Church's, or not Facebook, on YouTube, on their YouTube page, so that people can see it. However, people who aren't here or may not be watching it, they'll be able to listen to what's happening come Thursday during this time.
All right, I think we're good to go here.
You on?
I will be now. Yes. Okay. All right. So
Progress?
we are recording, and we can begin anytime you're ready.
All right, cool. So one of the first things that we do in every episode, or we try to, is do an introduction for the guests that we have on. And we typically have someone that the guests know, but we have them write an interview in such a way that it's not always easy to guess. So we did that for you guys too. And it's kind of funny in different parts. So plus it's handwritten. So
Handwritten.
yeah, it got sent to us. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Brian, a man with a big heart. I heard that it has rhythm now.
Yeah, it only cost me $60,000.
He is definitely a nerd. I bet he knows what the Elvish word for friend is. He is a Steelers fan. At least he isn't a Ravens fan.
Yes.
He isn't often it isn't often a fellow student became a top professor, but it is a privilege to know him as both, as well as a friend. He is the apologist of the Restoration movement.
Huh.
Jason, he is the man.
In his own mind.
And that's underlined, by the way. He is funny, and he knows it.
Hold on. You wrote this?
I like them.
No.
7 children and counting. He is a Duke fan. He is a Duke fan, but at least he isn't a Cardinal fan.
Oh.
Amen.
His preaching style is one of a kind. Jason can make your heart ache, leap for joy, break, love, be humbled, and grow in courage, all within 5 minutes. By the end of every message, you are ready to run through a brick wall and charge hell with a squirt gun.
There you go.
When Jason and Brian met, it was love at first sight. Their love for Scripture and passion for challenging conversations drew them together. That is the foundation of Theology Nerds. The Restoration movement needed a prominent contemporary avenue for the church to learn and grow.
Wow.
Theology Nerds has accomplished that. They stayed true to the Word of God with every subject they tackled. And it is more than just a fact for them. They seek to live more like Christ because of what they know. Help us welcome Theology Nerds to Beneath the Surface.
So who wrote that? That's our question as we start this podcast.
Well, there's a couple clues. One of them was a reference, negative reference to the Ravens, which means they're a Bengal fan probably, because there's no such thing as a Browns fan around these parts. And they also negatively referenced Louisville,
Right.
so they're probably a Kentucky.
So I like them.
Yeah. My guess is Tanner.
All right, Jason, what do you think?
It's handwritten. Tanner would type it out.
You're right.
So it's
Tanner's spelling's not that good.
and it's got to be someone older. There was a line about Brian being a student and then a teacher,
Yeah.
a fellow teacher.
Fellow student. And
So
then
you were a fellow.
And now a professor, yeah.
They're a professor.
yeah, that was another one that tipped me off because I was in class with Tanner,
Fellow student.
which was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
All right. It was, drum roll, guys, Tanner.
Tanner.
I knew it.
Yep. He would not
How
type it
old
out.
are you?
He's analog.
He's lazy
You're
is
Terry
the problem.
Beer's grandson.
And he walked into the room in my office and said, "I'm just glad to know that you're as big a nerd as I am." And he also referenced the word in Lord of the Rings for friend. And would that be in Elvish? Now, I'm ashamed to say I don't know it.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what? That's what I said. Melog.
Wow, the nerds are over there.
Yeah, I know.
He's just a regular nerd.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now let's transition into the interview section. And we really want to give the audience a chance to get to know you guys as friends and get to know the backbone of Theology Nerds and how that came about. So the way that this is going to work is we're going to do this almost in a Q&A. We got a bunch of questions. You guys go on and answer, and then we'll move on. If there's a follow-up question we want to ask, we'll go through with that. So the first question, just as a fast lightning round, is what is your guys' favorite Bible character that normal people would not know?
Okay.
This was supposed to
That
be
normal
fast.
people would not know.
Yes.
Since you're a nerd.
Define normal.
I've got one.
Okay, here we go.
Zacchaeus?
What?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
The short jokes have already come. So one of my favorite lines in Scripture is about a guy by the name of Epaphras, and it just says that he agonized in prayer, and that's really all we know about him. And that's the type of man I want to be, that agonizes and fights in prayer. Not there by any stretch, but I just love that little, like you think about what type of church members you might want, and what type of Christian you want to be, and contributor to the kingdom. A prayer warrior's, man, as good as it gets. And I know I'm like the preacher in me comes out with that, right? But I'm thinking like our prayer warriors in our church, that's not nothing. The ones that their ministry in the church has changed over the years, like they don't want to keep the nursery anymore or teach the kids anymore, or they feel they're not gifted to do certain things. Anybody can be a prayer warrior, and everybody should be. And I just think, man, we need churches full of Epaphras. So I don't know if that answers it.
Top that.
What a nerd.
For an obscure, I can't top that, because the one that went to me was, I'm going to broaden because you said for normal person, so I'm going to broaden the scope of that definition. But the phrasing there of someone that is like a spiritual hero to me in the Scriptures and a favorite character, one that doesn't get enough run, I think, is Nehemiah. I love that guy. When you talk about a prayer warrior, so much of everything he did in his leadership was undergirded in fervent prayer. And you think about somebody that was able to accomplish great things and get things done and motivate people and all that kind of stuff. And Nehemiah, I mean, he's a guy for me. And, I was trying to think of a more obscure reference than that, because you really went deep, though, so that was really good. But that's the name that popped to mind there, was Nehemiah. He's a hero of mine, very prominent character in my understanding of things,
Really
that someone I try to emulate.
That's good. I would say probably that's obscure. Most people wouldn't know what Nehemiah did.
Okay,
That's
good.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's good.
All right.
You didn't have to come up with some name nobody's ever heard of.
I'm going to go with Mephibosheth.
And all that he did. Yes.
Yes.
Let's keep going. So this is another quick hitter, but I want you guys really, this is maybe more controversial of a question.
Okay.
What is one theological hill you will not die on that people might think you should die on?
Remember, it's supposed to be quick.
Here's one I'll do.
You won't die on it. People probably think you should.
Give me a minute.
Okay, behind the scenes of podcasting.
So this has changed for me. Early in ministry, I would have died on every hill. I was young and would have fought every battle. My views haven't changed a whole lot, but the way I would fight those with somebody, and if we're talking about dying on a hill, I mean, where I couldn't call you a brother in Christ anymore or would withhold fellowship, that box has to be pretty small. Probably smaller than I would like it to be, in some ways. I think there's a bunch. I think we can disagree about things that are controversial, and I shouldn't kick you out of the church or disfellowship you. Women's role. End times dispensational view. I think there's some problems, some big problems. I don't think that should separate our love for each other. I'd argue with you, but I wouldn't die there.
Yeah.
I'd argue those things and talk about them. I mean, and you're asking, because we do talk about those things on the podcast, and so we kind of come out with a position on about everything. But I wouldn't die. I wouldn't die on a hill if you disagreed with me on the purpose of the Lord's Supper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where that's something that's evolved for me over the years. That came out in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
We talked about, and I believe in a weekly observance.
Mm-hmm.
But like if we disagreed about some of the particulars, man, we got people at church that we disagree on stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So those things were things that come to my mind. Hills I wouldn't die on, but 21-year-old Jason preaching in a church, man, I'd throw down.
There wasn't a hill at 21 that I wouldn't have died on, probably.
A church hired me at 21.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
to be their preacher.
Yeah, me too.
And so that was dumb of them. And I didn't. And here's the worst part. I thought at 21, I thought the opposite.
Yeah.
Right. I thought I've made it.
Yeah,
I thought, and I thought anybody that opposed me or didn't esteem me I thought they were just horrible.
Yeah, we killed
for it. And now that I'm 43, I'm thinking, I was just a punk.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't earn respect. I didn't spend time earning respect, and it was ridiculous of me to think people were just going to fall into line because I spoke.
Right.
Again, my position on those things hasn't really changed, but how I would fight those has.
Good.
What about you, man?
You stole mine.
Oh, sorry.
When you talk about the purpose of the Lord's Supper and communion, that's one that we talked about, that some people would die on that hill, you know, and it's not to minimize its importance, but that's one of the things that we've talked about and we've tried to develop over the years is a better understanding of certain theological concepts and having a balanced approach to it, because one of the things that's happened, and we've talked about this a dozen times in these 48 episodes, is the fact that we in the movement have a tendency to overreact to false doctrine. And so a lot of times what happens is we run so far past where we ought to be just so we won't be over here with those have a liberal perspective on something thankfully the way that I came in, I was a 30-year-old youth minister thereabouts and kind of got a later start in things, so I had the ability to kind of ease into some of these things that and I had some really good advice early on from someone like Dr. Peer, and he said, if you go into a new ministry, he said, just observe, just learn, don't seek to make quick changes, and choose very carefully what hills you die on. And so that's something I was able to learn early on in my ministry when I got started there. So, but that's the one that popped in my head, and so that for me it's been, I had some good advice early on that I was able to incorporate. And another thing too is along these lines is if all you are is hammer, constantly hammer, right? Then when it comes time to really be something important, people are just kind of numb to it because they're just constantly.
Yeah.
So when it's time to bring the hammer, then it really hits, because it's like, whoa, this is significant. And that's the idea.
Because there are hills to die on.
Absolutely, and there are certain ones that we will absolutely defend to the death, theologically speaking, but there are that's one of the things that we really need to try. And that's something we've tried to do on this podcast is try to identify those things.
Yeah, where there's weight.
Hey guys, we're making a big deal out of this when there's a bunch of other stuff we ought to be focusing on, other things that we could. The idea that I use a lot of times in the Restoration Movement is that we're a two-string banjo, right? Baptism and communion. Well, that's all we talk. I've heard that's all we ever talk about. I'm like, there's so much more in this beautiful book, that we need to be talking about, incorporating into our lives. So that's just some of the ideas and principles that kind of come out of that.
And I love that question, guy, because if I was talking to a young guy or talking to young me, that'd probably be the first piece of advice I would give.
Yeah.
Don't die on every hill.
Right.
That some things you think are important aren't as important. He was talking, I was thinking, man, the pastor word.
Yeah.
I wouldn't die on that hill now. Yeah. I used to get crazy, been out of shape. I don't die. My view hasn't changed.
Yeah, well, when you're right and you go to die on a hill and the other person's wrong, they die.
Yeah.
So, like, we kill immature new Christians on some hills, sometimes that are not worthy of them dying on.
That has a lot to do with our approach, too, and the way we go about it. So
that's right. Yep.
You can die on a hill and still do it in love.
Yeah.
So.
We have to.
All right, so let's move on and let's get to know a little bit more about the podcast. So the first question that I'm going to ask related to that is, what moment first made each of you realize, oh, I'm officially a theology nerd?
Well, I don't know if this is just an origins question. Brian and I connected, and we really did have an instant friendship. And it was like, I think maybe the first time we met, we dove into some theology conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm like ADD, so I'm like, look, rabbit, and that's how I am. and Brian's a little bit more steady, and I've always wondered. I've joked on the podcast. I said, I wonder, listening to it, if listen at 1.5 speed, what that's like. What it would sound like with me talking versus Brian talking. But we'd have these conversations, and we kind of started thinking, what if we just took this conversation and we recorded it?
Yeah. What was the moment that I realized I was a theology nerd? Well, I'm nerdy in everything else, so it just follows. That room right over there is evidence. You can go in and look. There's books and everything else that's nerdy. So, but I just have a real passion for understanding and learning as much as I can about God's Word, and I've just been super blessed to be connected to a lot of people that have really taught me well. One of the guys that just passed was Professor Chuck Lee from Louisville Bible College. He taught us so many important things. I could name a dozen people like that were super influential. So for me, and understanding what I was like along those lines is, I just figured everybody's like this when it comes to the Bible and theology that's wanting to be in ministry and a preacher, but, maybe it's a little more than normal. I don't know. But like I said, I've been really blessed, and I'm trying to, I can't really pinpoint where. I think we met at Winter Worship one year when you spoke.
Yeah, and I don't remember where the name even came exactly. Who came up with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember which one of us kind of.
I do. I remember that.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. Spill the beans.
Well, here's all right. So here's where Theology Nerds actually was born. Yeah.
No, his feelings were hurt that you didn't remember. What's our anniversary? Don't you know?
Yeah.
What's my favorite color?
Look that way for a second.
Yeah.
All right, so
It was your idea.
it was 100%. So
I don't know about that.
it was. I'll tell you right now. So we were in. So you came and spoke at the Southern Indiana Family Rally, and so we asked you to hang around till Sunday and preach for us here Sunday morning. And we've had a few guys do that, and you agreed to do that. So we were able to spend time after the rally and before Sunday and after Sunday. And so we spent quite a bit of time just sitting in my office and talking on Saturday and Sunday. And we had toyed with the idea of doing a podcast, but that's where it really became real, was on that, during that year. And I think we were sitting there and we were kind of talking about the concept of theology and kind of how we were nerds. So maybe I didn't. Maybe it was collaborative. Are you okay?
I'm all right.
Okay, all right. So
I want credit.
so but it was our idea together. So yeah. So but yeah.
But the reality is, everyone should want to be a student of the Word. And that's where for me, that has grown as I've gotten older in the faith, the seriousness with which I've wanted to approach the Word. And I know that's not everybody. I'm a book. You're a different kind of nerd.
Yes.
Like you're a nerd.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm far more of like a book nerd.
Right. Yeah, you read way more than me.
And so it's just a different nerdiness. You're far more likely to read. Here's one.
We don't care about that.
No,
sports are out. We want theology argument.
This was a good one though.
Okay, go ahead then, I guess.
We already know about the shirt. He lost. You won.
This is a good one.
Okay,
This is a good one. We're both baseball stat nerds.
Big time.
And Brian argues that he would beat me in any type of competition about baseball stats, and I argued that I would. So we kind of have that, like who was better second baseman through the 90s. We'd argue those.
Roberto Alomar.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh,
That wasn't really an argument.
Yeah.
so back to theology, though. What's the thing that you all have?
Okay, so the one thing
debated
theologically that we've heavily debated, there's two that I can think of. One is baptism of the Holy Spirit, which that's fascinating discussion. In fact, he messed me up on that big time for a little bit. Yep. You remember, we were there. It was at Salt Fork, right? Tanner, we stayed up till like 2 a.m. Yeah, it was Tanner's fault. Well, we had already been discussing it and working our way through it. So we have slightly different views on that. And the other is the origin of demons and demonic beings and that kind of stuff. So we've wrestled with that. And the Nephilim, you want to get into his head on that stuff. We've toyed with that for a podcast episode.
It's so weird.
We're just afraid it would just go so far weird. But those are the two, would you say those are two theological things we've really wrestled with?
It's actually been, a lot of times been surprising. Like one of us will come up with an idea of something that we want to talk about, and I kind of think I have this outlier position on it, and Brian's like, I agree 100%. You know, and one of those will be our talk tonight. That I thought for sure Brian and I were going to disagree. And I don't think we do.
We don't.
But I thought for sure we were going to disagree. It's probably the most, I think, this is the plug for it. I think it's going to have the most controversy, reticence to hearing it, anything we've talked about.
Yeah, it might bristle some dogs.
Well, there's
might
no
get a little
bristle
bristled.
some
There's no
dogs.
dogs here.
Well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
They might get a little bristled.
You're gonna bristle dogs?
Well, you know how dogs get bristled.
That's a wild phrase.
Maybe that was the wrong terminology.
That's awesome. Whatever.
Ruffle feathers. We're going to ruffle feathers. You know how a dog gets bristled.
Yep.
Okay.
I know what
You
you
know
mean.
what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on from that question, and let's go more into scripture and study. And it kind of falls within the same vein as this last one. But what's a passage that you have changed your mind after deeper study, and what shift your view?
Okay. That's easy for me because I grew up in a denominational church. So are you saying since we started the podcast or?
Yeah, since starting the podcast, has there
that's
been
not
anything?
fair. All right, give me a sec. Since we started the podcast, what have I changed? Have I changed anything? Well, okay. So, I mean, that takes us back to the demon discussion. I mean, that's really, I think I'm evolving in a certain direction there to where I'm more open to stuff that I thought just wasn't. It didn't ring in my ear as true. It didn't seem consistent in other ways. So I would have to say that I'm leaning more and more towards your position on that. Your position on the baptism of the Holy Spirit, I'm not exactly completely in your camp. However, without it getting too deep into it, I would say that my idea of the way I understand it and the way you understand it, it's a both and, not an either or. And I think that's
you can be wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but for me, I would say I'm leaning more towards his position on the Nephilim and the demon situation than I'm way more open to that concept because you have made some really good arguments on that, especially when you bring in the book of Jude and things like that. So really good stuff. Before I was like, yeah. So that for me, that's that. But I don't.
Jason, you've always been right about everything.
That's right.
What's one thing that's changed for you?
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of expansion of thought. You know, Brian's so good at that, and through our discussions. But one where, and I tease him about this sometimes, is the nature of faith. I preached a sermon at a camp. Brian was there. We knew each other by then, and I don't know if I said something that he didn't agree with, but he let me know it, and you helped me process. It wasn't like a wide gulf.
Oh no.
On it, but it was just expanding my view of the nature of faith.
Yeah.
Where and we won't dive into it, but basically, you know, I made a statement that the opposite of faith is sight, and Brian helped me expand that thinking a little bit, and I think he was right on that. To expand a little bit more, I don't completely throw away what I said there on that, but I think but I think that there was more to it that I hadn't thought through.
Yeah.
You know, because what we do sometimes we parrot.
Mm-hmm.
you know stuff we hear?
Mm-hmm.
And there's times I've said things, and even in saying them, like I hadn't thought them out very well.
Yeah.
And when one of the things our conversations have done is it exposes bad thinking. And I can't just talk to Brian about something and just throw normal just platitudes. It has to be thought out because he'll poke it apart.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to challenge on something. He's not necessarily disagreeing, but he's not afraid to poke holes in my logic.
Yeah.
And I'll give it back too, you know. But
Oh, yeah.
but that's certainly the case. We have to come to a podcast prepared. We don't prepare traditionally, but our thoughts have to be prepared, or we're
Yeah.
going to get exposed.
Right.
And we would do that. We would do that public on the podcast. Like if it came up and we disagreed, it's always possible that I'm going to drop something, you're going to drop something, and we totally disagree. That's a possibility because we don't check that ahead of time,
No, we do not.
you know. And so we'd let it ride.
Yeah. And so far, it's been one thing that's been remarkable on that and along those lines is how much we have in common, the way that we approach Scripture and how we understand it. And I'm
Yeah.
shocked how much we have in common.
Right. And we've had different people in our
different
lives.
pathways, but that's been pretty cool.
Very good. Very good. What is a real life moment where theology has helped you make the right decision rather than the wrong decision?
Oh man, now you're poking it emotional.
Poking at emotional.
And I told you I wasn't an emotional guy. I might be here.
Yeah.
In 2017, Stephanie was pregnant, and 6 months pregnant, and went into labor, and the baby died. So had a stillborn baby, and approaching death from a good theological standpoint, that was really important. Maybe the most important for me at the time. And so that was like real life. How did I develop a view of death as being unnatural, as being an enemy? How do I grieve? How do I be angry and holy, and ask how do I deal with all this in life, like when the rubber meets the road? And so, and I've thought that every time I've been at a funeral, or every time I've comforted someone in death, my theology of death has shaped my everyday life about as a minister and as a griever. It has more than anything I could think of right away. That has.
Yeah, mine's very much in the same vein, and I guess it would fall into that same category, more towards like pain and suffering and sickness. How do we approach that? It's all kind of in the same thing as with this concept of being equipped with the proper theological framework and understandings and what we know about God and His nature and character. If we have those things down and it's a part of our lives and the way we think and the way we relate to God and our relationship with God, if we have those things down, then we're better equipped to enter into difficult situations and work our way through them in a real positive way. And for us, I think that's when Kelly had her cancer diagnosis. Very similar to what you're talking about, is being able to approach that with an eternal perspective, understanding even if scenarios, and being able to really focus on certain dynamics. And it really boiled down to this concept for us, was focus on what we know, not the unknown. Because in those circumstances, the unknown is the worst. It's the worst. And so what we focus on was God's nature, His promises, His character, what He's done for us in our lives, and what He's provided for us through the gospel and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We focus on those things, and then the present facts that we have as we went through that whole journey. I think we were able to navigate it fairly well. And we've also been able to offer that advice to others that have been going through those things. And I think it's because we were equipped with those truths ahead of time. And so it's been my goal to really help people to understand biblical suffering, pain and suffering and sickness from those perspectives that will help people to navigate that in a real positive way. And so that's where it really, where the rubber hits the road is those two things: pain, suffering, death, and dying.
Yeah.
And that's where it really becomes real.
So let me ask you a follow-up question on this.
Sure.
So I've heard the phrase, it's kind of cliche, but like you build your faith on your feet, but you really learn if you can trust it on your butt kind of thing. Like you'll believe something, and then when life knocks you down, inevitably, you'll find out if it's true. How have you guys seen that really work within the church?
Well, I think that what a lot of times happens is hard circumstances exposed.
Yep.
I think that's how I describe COVID. The period, the people that left the church in our church at the time, that wasn't a new problem. It exposed a problem that was already there. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't a launching pad. There was a weak and vulnerable faith anyway. So I think that's where we see that is our faith is exposed in hard times. It's exactly how the Bible talks about our faith being refined in the fire, or testing and approving, and it tests a genuine faith. Suffering does. That's the only way. There's no other way to produce that kind of steadfast faith. Like Romans says, the testing of our faith develops perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope. Yeah. That can't be done without suffering. It can't be done.
I can't say any better than that. It's exactly how it plays out. Is it exposes what's already there. Yeah. A lot of times we have individuals and things like that we don't. It's hard to get inside everybody's life and heads, but then a lot of times as they approach suffering and that kind of stuff, you can really see where their faith is.
Right. This isn't Hakuna Matata.
No.
Right. It's not. It's not that some of us suffer sloppy.
Yeah.
Right. Our first response is anger. Mm-hmm. Right. And some of the Psalms are that.
Yeah. Sure.
Praying your anger, praying your grief.
Right.
And so I don't want to. We all deal with that difference. There's some people here. And you suffered, and your first response was, God, why? Mm-hmm. That's not unholy or unspiritual.
Yeah, I agree.
And so it's not all that we're just pressing on blindly. That's not it. I think it's when the dust settles, we're standing on the rock.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
That's really good.
So I really enjoy how you guys have answered these questions for a couple reasons. One of them is sometimes the more you know, it's easy to be arrogant in a sense of like, hey, I know this, so listen to me on this subject. But the way that you guys have really addressed this is from a heart of humility. And I see it because in the sense of people are messy, right? Everyone goes through things, yet theology, there are theological truths that we have to hold to. So we have to balance, in one way, what's true with a messy or broken heart. And the way of doing that is through humility. And that's really something that I've seen you guys do in just how you are answering our questions tonight. I'm going to give each of you guys 60 seconds. So we need to get a timer for this, or they're going to go over. I know them.
I got it.
We're only going to give you 60 seconds, and that's it. We're going to give you 60 seconds to rant. What topic in the church do you think is misunderstood the most? Do not start until he says to go.
You ready? Yeah. You ready with your topic? Jason, how did I know you would be ready with a rant about something?
Misunderstood the most?
So
Misunderstood the
tell me when to
most.
go.
I'll tell you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sanctification.
Oh,
I think that people oftentimes confuse sanctification and justification, and so it leads to several problems. One, a lack of assurance. There's some people that are struggling to live out the Christian life, and they think they're going to hell because of that. And then there's other people that aren't pursuing sanctification, right? So as Christians, we have the Holy Spirit, so we should be growing holier and holier in our lives, but it's not always that neat. It doesn't always work that way, and we have to have assurance of our salvation, because our salvation is not based in what we're doing and how we're performing. It's based in what Jesus has done because of us and in spite of us on the cross. That's our justification. And so I think we need assurance in that regard.
Keep going. Go.
I think we need assurance in that regard, and we don't need to lose it. We don't need to lose that assurance because we are in a period of wrestling. And so I think we really need a good understanding of the distinction between sanctification and justification. I'll even stop 1 second early. Bang.
Time.
But wait, hold on.
All right.
He does get one extra second because I messed you up. Tell us what you talked about this earlier. We were talking about seasons of regression in your sanctification. I'll give you 10 seconds.
Yeah,
to
I
explain
don't think
that.
it's always a neat path, right? So I think we should be progressing in sanctification, but I think there's seasons in life where we go down, where we have mistakes, and where we have weak seasons in the valley. So it's not this. Sometimes it's this. Wave back and forth.
Yeah.
But we're always in the process.
Good.
Cool. All right, Brian, what you got?
Brian, go.
All right, you said go?
Okay, Brian, go.
All right. Faith. That we're saved by grace through faith at baptism unto good works. So it's the nature of faith, which we talk about. It's vastly misunderstood. I don't think it's spoken of. But basically it's this. It's really salvation in a nutshell, is that we talk about Old Covenant, you're saved by law, you're saved by keeping the law. I don't know how many times I've had to train myself. That's not how it works. Is that from the get-go, grace has been on the scene, and that you're saved by grace through faith. And that's been, and the other thing that's a part of that equation every single time is repentance. I can't find a single place in the Bible where an unrepentant person was able to restore to a restored relationship with God. It's God's offer of grace, and it's through faith is the connecting point. And it's faith that gets us in, and it's faith that maintains it, our relationship with God. I think that's the thing that's mostly misunderstood, and I will end with 1 second as well. Bang.
Can you, real quick, share with everyone the definition of faith?
Real quick? No.
No?
Yeah, I can. Faith is belief that and belief in. And so God has revealed himself to mankind in two ways, in two books, the book of creation and the book of his word revelation to us. And so he's revealed himself and given us the opportunity to respond to that revelation. So belief that is that we look at these two books that God has written, and then we determine whether or not God exists, and from there belief that God exists and all the things that we come from there. So these belief that statements that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, all these things that are revealed to us in the Word. So we have the opportunity to respond to these things and have a framework, a knowledge of these things being true. And then it's a matter of whether or not that we're going to put our trust in those things. So if we're going to put our faith and trust in those things, we put our trust in. Then quit doing that. It messes me up. I told you it wouldn't be short. So it's just this idea of mental assent plus trust. We understand who God is, and then we choose willingly to, what was that? To obey him and to trust in him and to follow what he says.
Never show behind the scenes of a podcast, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, okay, so that is a great thing that every preacher in here has stolen at some point, probably. The way you teach that. It's excellent.
Well,
Seriously.
it's not unique to me, but I think we've
Well, it's
tried
not
to.
unique.
The way you communicate it, though, is
It's not
more
unique.
clear than what you normally come across.
Well, I appreciate that.
So,
Normally you're not clear.
You make it so clear because you're a theology nerd.
That's
Okay, we are going to try to be honoring of our schedule and time here.
Okay.
So we're going to ask, each one is going to ask one more question so that we can honor that.
That'd be
We
great.
want to get back to the podcast, Theology Nerds. We kind of went off on some topics that were theology in nature there. But let's go back to the podcast for just a minute.
Yep.
I want to ask you guys, what do you hope this podcast produces over the next 5 years?
Over the next 5 years.
What do you hope in 5 years people say?
Well, you sent me a Marco Polo the other day. He's like, look, I don't know how this is, where you're at in your head in this, but maybe one day you're going to break up with me, that kind of thing. You remember that?
I believe that's true.
I said, as long as the Lord blesses, I intend to keep going here because that's a big book, and there's a lot of amazing theology in there. And if you're willing to keep going with this, I just hope that we provided a resource in 2025 and 2026 that, and moving forward into this digital age, that will be a resource for years to come, that someone might have an opportunity to understand things about God a little bit better in this world, and Jesus and all that stuff. So I'm hoping that we're providing some sort of, you look back to us and the resources that we've used, think old cassette tapes. I mean, probably you guys have taken some stuff and popped in an old cassette tape to try to learn from a preacher from back in the day. So we're hoping we're providing a resource that can move forward into the future and just really encourage people in their walk with the Lord. If we can help just anybody, I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, I would add, one listener is that's incredible, in itself. And it's nice to be in our circle, to have our friends and our people support. That's nice.
Right.
Man, it's kind of a dream of mine that people from other denominational backgrounds might stumble on it and maybe help them to rethink some things and even just cause them to study a little bit better some important things.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so we will wrap this up with this final question because we know how busy you guys are with everything that you guys have going on, right? I know the people at Kent know how busy Brian is with the things that he does. And Jason, it's no different at Lake Mount with you. So why is this podcast worth your time?
Well, I enjoy it, right? So it's not just for everybody else that listens. Like, I'm selfish. I enjoy it, the time. I enjoy the time that we get to talk. It's fellowship. So, there were a couple times where one of us was really busy, and it's like, do we really have time for this? And my response was, man, if you called me on Monday and wanted to chat, we'd probably be doing the same thing, just not with the record button hit. And I wouldn't not answer the phone if you called. So there's no burden.
Right.
It's get to for me. I get to virtually through Zoom hang out with Brian. I shared with you guys earlier. I consider that an incredible honor. I'm not just building his head, but there are other people Brian could be a nerd with, and I would be. But I'm encouraged and strengthened every single week. It blesses me. So how do I find time? It's important for me. It's really not so much that's important. It's important for me.
Yeah, I feel that way too. It's like so many different ways that you've challenged my thinking and helped me to grow as a preacher, and the friendship that's there. And so, yeah, it's a get to, not a have to. And we've been very blessed that we've been able to find a way to do 48 episodes in this amount of time, and we're just super thankful for that because we started around October a year ago, or it was in the fall, and so we're just super excited. Never thought we'd be able to have an opportunity. We get together with people we love and care about and have some fun and learn some stuff, and this is just a true blessing that we get to do this every week, and God is good.
So, do you say yes? He talked about this going on in your Marco Polo video breaking up. Are you staying together? Is that what we're hearing?
We're
Big
staying,
announcement,
Yes!
guys.
We're staying together.
Yes, they're staying together.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. Kelly and Steph know.
Listen,
Anyway,
why you guys rag us like that?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You just
You
wait.
know it's better when there's an audience.
You just wait until it starts coming your way.
It already does.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us on Beneath the Surface. I know this has been a little bit different of a format for that, but we really appreciate you guys being with us, joining with us, and talking about these things. And like Jason said, we've got an episode coming out with him on Thanksgiving Day. We're excited for people to hear that, to hear behind the scenes, beneath the surface about Jason. And we hope that you'll tune in and listen to that. So thank you guys for being with us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to do too much of a plug since this is your guys' thing, but if you guys are cooking a turkey and you're like, man, what should I be listening to during this time? Jason will be on Beneath the Surface on Thanksgiving Day.
That's what you want. Yeah, that's what you need.
All right. Thank you guys for going beneath the surface with us.
There we go.
Woo!
All right. All right, well, give us a couple minutes here. Talk amongst yourself. We're going to set up now for a trivia throwdown. All right, come on up, Heavy Branches.
Yeah.
What's the score?
20, 22.
I can't believe you got the game on while we're trying
We've all
turkey heads.
I had some more spicy questions.
I like spicy. Yeah.
Hey, so I have a question. So
Are you nervous?
should I have
No.
I don't care.
Right. Get psyched up here.
We cannot lose this.
Can,
You have 30 seconds to answer each question or whatever. I need you to say final answer. Just so
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
you want a chest bump when we win?
Yeah. Boom. Hey, you want to give him mine? Just, and then you use one of these. You cool with that? And then
Here, CJ.
CJ, use the lapel mic here.
I'll be right here in front of the mic.
Cool. Yeah, bro. Hey, throw it away for me.
There's a mic for
Yeah, you're gonna have time. Shoot. All right, Benny. He's got some.
It's the big one. Which would mean I lose, but not the first fight. Not us. You're Apollo Creed. If he dies, he dies. Hey, good job, guys. That was entertaining. Was it? Yeah, it was good.
Hey, Randy, can we get yellow mic for Jason activated?
Brian's part, there was more clues in Brian's part.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
knew there was.
See if you're active. Are you working there?
The apologist of the resurrection movement.
Yeah,
My grandpa called him that, which is why I put it in there.
That's funny. Well, it threw me
And
off.
I believe that.
It threw me off because you were, it was handwritten. That's the only thing that threw me off.
I handwrite.
Who do you think was
just about
handwriting?
every day, except my son.
Do you handwrite?
I can't read my own handwriting now. Meg handwrites my stuff for me.
Handwrite?
No, but I do preach off of a physical paper manuscript, not an iPad.
I do. I don't do that.
My hands get so sweaty while I preach,
So
I'm
if I
scared
go
the
on
screen wouldn't
Revival,
scroll.
I'll usually print,
Yeah, I do that.
and then I'll use the iPad.
Yeah, I mean printed paper.
Oh, just in case.
I preach off an iPad. I think we're good.
Everyone else I know, though, Brian, preaches off of like an iPad or a tablet.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I do. I am nervous though about technology failure. You know, if
He
it,
worries
I
about
use
that all that.
I use everything on Google Docs, so if like my iPad ever goes out,
Yeah.
I can pull my phone out.
right, but it's just harder to get
All right,
myself.
But I
Just show on the
have
road.
everything on 18 font for when I preach.
Scoot over this
So
way
even
so
on
you don't.
even on my phone, it can be bigger.
Josh,
Hey,
are you rooting for us? Who you rooting for? Do you think we have a chance?
I don't know what your trivia's about, so I'll go.
It's the Bible. It's everything.
There's 3 of you and there's 2 of them, but I still give them.
Oh, my hand.
All right, while they're still setting up and going to figure things out, I want to take a moment of your guys' time and let's take a small little poll ahead of time of who you think is going to win. Are you doing that? All right, cool. So when it comes to the theology nerds, how many of you guys think the theology nerds are going to win this?
come on.
All right, when it comes to the heavy branches, how many of you guys think the heavy branches are going to win this?
Just my wife.
Thank you, Megan. They needed that encouragement.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
This one's on.
Yeah, you're on. Should I turn it off?
Hello?
You want it on?
Do I want this one?
You are a spokesman, so I didn't know.
Yeah, you can put it on there if you want, or you can go with that.
Do I need to have my mic on? Oh.
Let's do it. I guess.
Explain the rules.
We got to flip a coin.
Yeah.
Here we go. Can you hear me, Randy? Good? Good evening, everyone. My name tonight is Bob Barker. I said that because this crowd looks like they're old enough to know who Bob Barker was. Yep. And the ones that don't, that's your problem, not mine. Okay. Tonight we're going to have not a Wheel of Fortune match, but a trivia match. I have here sealed the questions. I want you to know about the integrity of this game. An attorney out of Pikeville, not Aaron Davis, made sure that there is no cheating going to happen in this match of trivia between the theology nerds and the heavy branches. If you do not listen, these young lads here run their mouth sometimes.
They do.
That is how we got here. And they ran their mouth to talk about who is their favorite professor. Now, I have to explain why that happened. One day, Tanner Dalton here called me in a panic, and Tanner Dalton said, I need an icebreaker for our podcast, quickly. And I said, well, all you got to do is ask which one of these guys here on the Heavy Branches would rather listen to Joyce Myers preach or maybe somebody like Kenneth Copeland, who are not good preachers or sound preachers. He was scared to do that, and so he brought these two fellows into it and asked who the favorite professor at the college was. And now here we are with the Trivia Showdown to see if these two have taught these three anything.
Oh, wait.
Lose-lose.
Wait a second. I feel like this means we lose either way.
Yeah.
Lose-lose. Anyway, so here's how we're going to start this thing. First of all, it is a round of Trivial Pursuit, 5 categories in this Trivial Pursuit. But we're not giving out those little pie things that are given out at Trivial Pursuit. Rather, we're giving out these types of toys and things. First of all, there will be an Old Testament category.
Oh.
If you get it right in the Old Testament category, you get a sheep. That's very valuable, and my children want those after. Thank you.
That.
If you get it right in the New Testament category, you get a cross. There will be a subject called Numbers, not the book of Numbers, no, random numbers from the Bible, in which you will get a calculator. For you three, these are calculators. They're not on your phone. These were really, something else. Anyway, there's a subject called People, Places, and Prophecy. They will be about places primarily, and you will get a globe if you get that right. And the last thing,
he's like, we're toast. I saw that.
And the last thing is digging deeper. Obscure facts from the Bible, very obscure facts from the Bible that I don't think the branches even have ever considered yet. So here we are. They will have 30 seconds to answer. Here's the rule that matters greatly in this. We're going to have a coin flip to start. The coin flip will determine who gets to go first. If, let's say, the branches do win the coin flip, they can choose their category, and once they've chosen their category, they will have 30 seconds to answer the question from the time it is read. I will read the question one time. Do not ask me to read it again.
All right.
Thank you. Then if they miss it, the nerds will get a chance to steal. But if they get it right, they can choose the category for the nerds. We will go back and forth until one team has acquired all 5 of their symbols. Are there questions from you all?
Can I get a list of the segments?
I will read them again for you every time.
Of the
categories.
Categories?
I will. No,
It's
no. It's
Old
okay.
Testament, New Testament, numbers, geography, places. Yeah, geography. Yeah, prophetic. And what was the last one?
Deep random things.
Yeah, random thoughts.
It's a.
The geography one's the prophecy one.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I will get it. I'll
All
read
right.
them every time. I'll read them every time. So I need one from each team to decide who's calling heads or tails. We'll let the branches call heads or tails.
I'm fine with
That's
that.
fine?
Yeah.
This will be heads. We're clear on that?
Yeah.
This is heads. This is tails.
Jacob Simpson said tails never fails, so I'm going heads.
Heads it is.
I hope it's tails.
It is tails. So, now that we have to open these, I want you to remember, theology nerds, it is Old Testament, New Testament. It is numbers, people, places, and prophecy. And the last one are obscure facts. So, tell me which
People,
one.
places, and prophecy. PPP.
Triple P, baby.
Triple P.
All right, we will get these out of here now, these highly intellectual questions. They are hard. None of these are like real simple.
I'm a little nervous.
Eric did not know most of these. First question. Did you? First question for the theology nerds. Eric is going to keep the 30-second timer. Here we go. What city was called the city of palm trees in the Old Testament prophecy?
What are you laughing at?
You must answer with an answer of, our final answer is. What? Oh, it'll stop.
Our answer is Nineveh. Final answer.
This is not correct. The heavy branches have an opportunity which they will not succeed in to steal.
They might get it.
No, I didn't get it wrong. And while they discuss up here, I would like for you to know I got these questions and answers from an old Bible trivia game in our church building. AI did fact check them. So they are true and right.
5 seconds.
City of
Buzz
palm
'em.
trees.
Buzz them. Oh, no answer.
Do you have an answer? Well, you have an answer right now, immediately. Final answer is?
Bethlehem.
Final answer is wrong. Moving on.
Oh, yeah, what was it?
Do you want me to give it to you or save it for the end? The answer is the city of Jericho.
Oh, boo.
Boo! Okay, heavy branches. Heavy branches. You get to pick your own category. Old Testament, New Testament, Numbers, not the book, just Numbers.
New Testament.
New Testament. How did we know? Okay. New Testament question. In what region did Jesus heal the demon-possessed man called Legion? You know. Whoever said that over here knew.
Yeah, don't be giving the answers. Y'all be quiet.
The Gerasenes.
Ding, 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 ding! In a shocker of all shockers, they're up 1-0. Wow, you
All
get
right, they
that.
get their-
Wow. Great
All
job.
right, we're
Did
just
I
getting started.
pronounce that right?
Close enough for the... What? What'd you say? Yep. I actually have that down here. I literally have that here. Very good. Now, branches, you get to choose the category for the theology nerds. You do not get to take 30 seconds to...
Geography.
Geography is not one of the
The
things.
person, places, prophecy.
People, places, and prophecy. All right, next question. For the theology nerds. In which river did the prophet Elisha perform the miracle of making an iron axe head float in 2 Kings chapter 6? We're going to have to cut that back to like 15.
The Jordan River. Final answer.
Yep, that is right. Bingo. Hey, here's your globe, bro. Catch that. You're welcome.
We'll
Since
put
you got
that
your
right.
answer right, now you can pick
But
a
I-
topic, pick a category for the heavy branches.
The obscure facts one.
I knew they would do this to them. All right, here we go.
Jason Cole's watching the Duke basketball game.
And I'm watching the Kentucky basketball game, so that's fine.
That's why he's got the laptop. There's nothing on it.
There's nothing on it.
They were playing the game while we were doing their podcast. I'm not kidding.
And it was a fine podcast.
It was good. I think it went
Thank
well.
you. Anyway, okay. The obscure question for the heavy branches. Which biblical king had a bed described as being 13 feet long and 6 feet wide? 13 feet long and 6 feet wide. 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 13 feet long and 6
King Og.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct.
Wow.
Wow.
Well done.
And Heavy Branches, you can choose a category for the theology nerd.
That's a big bed.
The obscure facts.
That's a lot of bed. Obscure facts as well? Okay, here we go. According to Exodus 30, are you listening, Jason? You good? Yeah. Okay. You seem upset already for some reason.
He's very competitive. Wait till
Okay.
tomorrow.
Okay. According to Exodus 30, how many shekels was the atonement offering required for each Israelite male? People, they said to make these hard. The answers weren't supposed to be Jonah, Noah, and a big fish. I mean, come on. What? Okay. Well, you would have been wrong in my. What?
$30. 30, final answer. Dang
Not
it.
correct. You all, listen, do not need to steal this. You already have the item.
Oh, okay, yeah, so we're not in trouble.
So you can try if you want to, but.
It better not be what he said.
Well, what did you say?
I said 20.
Okay. Nope. None of you are right. Half a shekel.
Oh,
Half a shekel.
boo.
The Lord was okay with the poor man getting atonement as well. How about that? Okay. Heavy Branches, you get to choose your own category. You do not need New Testament or the obscure facts, so what would you like to go with?
Let's just do Old Testament.
Let's just do Old Testament. How about that? So, what was the name of the priest who raised Samuel after Hannah dedicated him to the Lord? Eric knew this one, by the way. Just want everybody to know.
The time has to be.
And your time is up.
Yeah, that's fine.
What? Give us the final answer. We need an answer. Into the microphone, please. No. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. No.
No, I don't. We don't have one.
Cut it out, Hoffman.
They don't. Okay. They don't have one. Okay. Do the
Yes, we do.
theology nerds know? Final answer.
Eli, final answer.
Correct. Oh man. Oh, you got applause. Here you go, dude. There's your sheep for the Old Testament. All right, theology nerds, you all get to pick your category now. You have already done people, places, and prophecy, and now you've done Old Testament. You need New Testament, you need the obscure, and you need the numbers.
New Testament.
New Testament. In the book of Philemon, some say it another way, but in the book of Philemon, who was the runaway slave, Paul sent back to his master, urging him to receive him as a brother.
Onesimus.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Correct. Very good. They are reasserting their dominance. Now, please pick a topic for, or a category for the Heavy Branches. You have Old Testament. You could do, let's see, Old Testament. You could do numbers. You could do people and places.
Numbers.
All right. Very good. First one from Numbers. Heavy Branches. How many daughters did Moses' father-in-law Jethro have? Brian was afraid that I'd make these too easy, weren't you?
No, these are challenging.
Two, final answer.
Final answer 2 is wrong. You guys need this, so you can try to steal.
1. Final
Wrong
answer.
answer. Nope.
No.
Right answer is 7.
Oh.
7 daughters. Really making some people proud out here. Not of you all, but of themselves. Okay. Theology nerds, you are allowed to choose your own category here. You still need numbers. You need, well, you don't need Old Testament. You need numbers. You need obscure. You just need numbers and obscure.
Numbers.
Numbers. How many sons did Job have at the beginning of the book of Job? Hey, this crowd, they know the thing or two. Do. Yeah, Randy, could you hit us with a little tune every once in a while?
Yeah.
They're lazy.
All right, we're going with 10. Final answer.
10 is incorrect. Thanks, Brian. Heavy branches. Do you have a guess? Okay.
Oh,
Heavy
you know
branches. Do you have the answer?
3, final answer.
Wrong again. 7.
I mean, I said 7 or 10, and you said, all right.
Very good.
I mean,
Very good.
I had it.
Okay, heavy branches. You get to choose your own category here.
Stupid 7.
You need numbers. You need people and places. Prophecy. People, places, prophecy. Which Old Testament city was completely burned because of Achan's sin? This is for them, not you. This is for them. You, branches. For who? You're supposed to be thinking. Think.
This one?
Yeah, you don't need it. You guys don't need it.
I know this one. These have been hard.
That's why. Time. Guess. Guess. We need a guess immediately. We need a guess immediately. Nothing. They don't have a guess. What is it?
Is it AI?
It's AI. Very good. All right. Theology nerds, you get to pick your own category. You still need, the obscure and the numbers.
Obscure.
Obscure it is. Here we go. How many talents of gold came to Solomon annually, according to 1 Kings 10:14? What was? It's also a number, but it's an obscure fact. If you don't like the game, Jason, if you don't like the game, you can quit. I don't care at all. Jason.
You say
10,000.
No. Do you all need the obscure? You do not need the obscure. What do you don't need it. The answer is 666. True. Look it up.
he's evil.
Solomon was evil. Yes. Okay, heavy branches. We've come to a screeching halt with correct answers. You all need Numbers, Old Testament, and people, places, and prophecy. And I clearly did not.
People, places, prophecy.
Okay, you guys are really going to need.
How many of these questions you got left?
Not enough. Not enough. Okay, that's why I wasn't going to give you answers, so we could go back to them.
Okay.
Who was the high priest? Who was the high priest who fled during the Babylonian siege to return to rebuild the temple? Did you all know there was a Babylonian siege? Look on your face. Do you know? There's a temple. The look on their face was like, that happened? Yeah. How much time they got? 5 seconds. 2, 1. Answer now.
This is wrong, but Ezra, final answer.
Wrong. I'm not going to tell you because I might need to come back to that one. Okay? You all don't need it.
Okay.
Theology nerds, what category would you like?
Numbers.
Numbers. Please get this right. Numbers.
Do something.
How many stalls of chariot horses did Solomon have to feed? Eric knew this immediately.
Why would you know that?
Give me more. Cool. Thank you. Whose phone is this? Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be a huge number because
Time's up. Answer.
1,000.
Incorrect. Do you all need this? You get a guess?
500.
Incorrect. The answer I was looking for was 4,000. 4,000. That's a lot of horses.
Why would you know that?
Because it was at the end of a sermon that I
Because it's illegal to have that many.
Not since
Let's-
you've been
let us-
here.
Some of them said, yeah.
He shouldn't have had those anyway.
That's wonderful. All right, moving on. We're not here to debate the morality of Solomon. We're here to figure out if you all know anything.
We don't.
I know that.
Heavy
I know he
branches.
shouldn't have had them.
Heavy branches. You
Let's
get to
talk
pick your
theology.
topic. What'd you say?
I said, let's talk theology.
I know.
Whose turn is it?
Old
Harris.
Testament.
Old Testament.
Yeah, we missed that one, and they tried to.
All right, here we go. Old Testament. Here we go. What prophet's vision included a flying scroll measuring 20 cubits by 10 cubits? I'm just going to have to start letting you steal so you can then pick your thing. Yep. Nope.
Ezekiel, final answer.
Incorrect, and they don't need it. What do you know what it is? Do you know who it is? You don't need it.
Seeing a flying scroll.
Yep,
Daniel.
Zechariah.
That's what I said, Zechariah.
That's what I said. Do you want numbers or obscurity? Numbers or obscurity?
Right now, you pick.
No, you tell me.
Numbers.
Okay.
What something Solomon owned, probably.
No, it's nothing to do with Solomon. How many words in Hebrew is Genesis 1:1? No, it's them. It's them first. Thanks. How many words in Hebrew? It's not you. It's not you.
I know. The Hebrew professor should get this.
I'll cheat. I will. Do it. Do it.
5, final answer.
Incorrect. Do you know?
Six, final answer.
Incorrect. Why'd you say it? We need it later. It's 7. It's 7.
I'll argue that one.
You'll argue that with
I'll
who?
argue
With who?
With whoever wrote those questions.
Okay.
The definite article is attached. It's not a separate word. I'll argue it. I'll die on that hill. 5 is the right answer.
Okay.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. 5.
5? It's 7.
It's wrong.
I've got it broken down
I'm
for you.
telling you, 100% it's wrong.
It's 7. Anyway,
All right,
let
let's
us
keep
move
going.
on.
Definite articles are not separate words. Anyway,
Definite article.
She's looking at the Hebrew right now. And she
they're
thinks
breathing
it's 6.
marks.
It's 6, 7.
All right, let's go.
Anyway,
Let's go.
moving on. It's you all. Pick your category, please.
I'm dying on that hill.
Old Testament.
Old Testament. Okay. What is the meaning of Ichabod given to Phinehas' son after the ark was captured? Time. What does his name mean? Is what I said.
We don't have anything.
His answer means the glory has departed Israel. Back to you guys. What do you want? Numbers?
Why not numbers?
I think you'll get this one. How many letters in the New Testament did Paul write? It's not the trick question. Hebrews is excluded. Sure. I got to get this over with. We don't have time for this to go all night. Yeah, we got hors d'oeuvres to eat somewhere. This is why
13, final
13,
answer.
final answer. Boom, we got it. Bang.
No one's clapping.
No one's excited at this point. All right, your turn.
No, we got rid of that rule.
They got rid of that.
Hey, nerds, finally, this hasn't happened for a while. You get to pick your category for them. They need Old Testament people.
Old Testament.
Okay. What Old Testament king was stricken with leprosy after unlawfully burning incense in the temple in 2 Chronicles? You know that, Brian?
I'm working on it.
In other news for the sports fans, Kentucky is winning 51-19 in the second half. Yeah. And for the trivia fans, we'll be selling a car at halftime of the game. Please get your money ready. And Duke is winning as well.
Jehoiakim?
Who answered?
Jehoiakim?
Wrong. Who you guys think?
Saul?
So,
King Uzziah.
Uzziah?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay, you have one more thing you need, which is the obscure answer. Let us end this here.
All
the
right.
way it always should have been. 2 to 5. Here we go.
I set the over under at 2.5. I told you.
How many cubits long was the veil in the tabernacle according to Exodus 26?
Long.
Yep. You don't need it, Jacob.
I know I don't need it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Old Testament. Let's do it.
Yeah, I have no idea, so go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Would this be the royal cubit or the... No, I'm just kidding.
It's whatever Jason wants it to be, I guess.
5 seconds.
12.
10. Oh. Sorry. All right.
Old Testament.
Old Testament.
12 is not a bad guess.
Literally is my last Old Testament question. In which Old Testament book is the phrase, "Can a man break iron from the north and bronze?" Where is that found? What book? Unless you gave me some here. Did you give me any here? There's an Old Testament question here.
Zechariah.
Wrong, Jeremiah. Sorry. All right, nerds. Here we go. You got one
Obscure.
category left.
Yeah.
We got one obscure question left. How many baths could Solomon's sea hold?
How many? I'm sorry.
Baths?
Whoa, you repeated.
Yeah, just finish because I didn't understand.
That was it. That was it. How many baths could Solomon's sea hold?
See?
Yeah, that's
C.
You're right.
Like SEA?
SEA. That is what he called this area.
10 seconds.
No.
Yeah. You said you only
Okay.
repeat once.
Okay.
I'm trying
No,
to
he
get
said
this
he
over
wasn't
with.
going to do it at all.
Fair C.
It was a.
It was a common error. I cannot say the word bath very well.
100.
2,000. 2,000. All right, back to you. What do you want? That is, by the way, in 1 Kings 7:26 and
Numbers.
2 Chronicles.
I really don't like Solomon.
Oh, Numbers is what we're at now? Yep. These are all way easy that he just gave me. How many men did Gideon take into battle after God called him to reduce the number?
That's kindergarten right there.
300.
You got it. Hey, these are the new questions that Eric gave me. I don't have any more obscure here.
And we got cheated out of one.
Yeah. The Hebrew one.
I'm dying there.
Yeah, I'm going to. All right, here we go. Here's the new obscure questions that these are. They're so easy. Here's the new obscure questions since I ran out that he's given me here. Hey, Jason, here we go. You ready? Don't worry about it. You already got the calculator, so it's okay. What prophet saw a vision of a valley of dry bones come back to life?
Is this ours?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eric gave me more questions. This is what they
Ezekiel.
were. That was the hardest one out of all
That's
these.
what you gave him?
It's the hardest one.
Thank you. That's okay. We'll take it.
And the winners are the Theology Nerds.
I say you
That
give
was
us
hard.
2 to match.
Thank you.
Meg knows Hebrew better than
Give us.
She
give
said
us,
6.
one thing.
She said 6.
6.
So I was right.
I'll pull it up here for you.
Give us 2 to match.
What?
Give us
no,
2
it's
to
over.
match.
It's over.
They went first.
All right, so
But it's been back.
we have all sorts of goodies and food, so let's go out to the gym and enjoy. Kelly's got an incredible spread. Make sure you get some merch too, hats and coffee mugs and all that good stuff, and then we'll rejoin back in here for the live recording.